Hello everyone, in this video we will be looking at the game between Robert James Fischer and Robert Egan Byrne, and this game took place in 1963 in New York City, and this game was played in the US Championships, and it was also awarded the Brilliancy Prize at the time. And this is one of the most famous and popular games of Bobby Fischer, and Byrne was playing with the white pieces, and Robert James Fischer was playing with the black pieces. The opening which is played in this game was the King's Indian defense, and it was also transposing into the Grunfeld defense symmetrical variation. And this game has an exciting story behind it, and Fischer was on a roll, such fierce determination to play for the win, and even with the black pieces it was Fischer hallmark. 20 years old Grandmaster Robert James Fischer was already among the world's very best chess players, and in this brilliancy game Fischer demonstrates how to inject multiple imbalances into a highly symmetrical game. And let's analyze this game and get into the video. So d4 by Byrne, and here knight to f6 is being played by Fischer, then c4, then g6, then g3. Now we have reached the King's Indian setup, and black and white both are ready to put their bishops and try to fianchetto, and after that c6 was played. So the point of c6 is if bishop to g7 was played, for example, then white would just simply push this pawn or just play bishop to g2, and after that if we play c6, white would just simply push this pawn and we should push d5, and the setup is not very great for black, and it is slightly better for white, because somehow black should manage to win against this three trio pawn structure. And after that c6 was played here, and bishop to g2 was played. So after that d5 was played, attacking the center, and c takes d5 and c takes d5. Now we have reached the Grunfeld symmetrical position, and knight to c3 was played, developing the knight, and bishop to g7 by Fischer. Then e3 was played. Now the players slowly started to develop their pieces and castles by Fischer, and knight to ge2. The point of this is just to castle and give a strong support for this developed knight, and knight to c6 has been played was played by Bobby Fischer, and castles b6 and b3. At this point Byrne tried to play safely and just to make a draw, and he knew that Fischer wanted to win this game, and he was also a very strong player at the time, and Fischer was in a winning streak. And after that bishop to a6 was played, and bishop to a3 was played, and after that rook to e8 was played. This is a very sensible move, because attacking on this e file and trying to remove this pin from the e pawn, so the e pawn could freely push to develop the other pieces. So after that queen to d2 was played, then e5 was played here. e5 is the most attacking move in this position, because Fischer knew that he wanted to win this game, and if something like e6 was played, it would be a very drawish position. But even the Grunfeld symmetrical variation is also a very drawish position, but Fischer somehow wanted to win this game. So e5 was played, and d takes e5, then knight takes e5 was played here. After that the rooks were already connected by white, and now the most decisive position or situation came here, and the decision is that which rook should come here. So the point is that if any of the rook comes here, you can just attack on this file, so and target this pawn. So if the best move for white here is to push rook d1, rook f to d1, because just removing the bishop from this diagonal, and also this rook will also be helpful when pushing to c1 to attack on the c file. So after that it was a very bad decision, because this pawn was guarded by this rook only. So very nice move, very brilliant move was played by Fischer here, which was knight to d3. What does this move do here is that it controls all the squares which has been highlighted by the arrow. So these are all the squares which are being controlled by the knight, and the knight also does a very nice job just blocking this queen to the d file. So after that queen to c2 was played here. Then knight takes f2 was played here. Fischer went for a nice knight sacrifice, and after that king takes f2 was played. If some other move was played, the rook could have taken the knight, but now the king has to take it, and after that knight to g4 check was played. And here Byrne did not want to roam his king all around the board, so he went back safely to king g1, and after that knight takes e3 was played, which was a family fork, and the queen was in danger, and most of the players would like to move their queen, and everyone would do that, and queen to d2 was played here. Now most obviously many players will just take this, but Fischer surprised everyone, including the commentators, by playing the move knight takes g2. He took the bishop instead of the rook, and even the commentators were unable to find the idea out of it. And the idea is that Fischer wanted to eliminate the bishop, which was protecting the king, and it was the only guardian of the king, and the king didn't have any defender at that time. So after that king takes g2 was played, and d4 was played here, attacking the knight, and knight takes d4 was played here. If Fischer had not played something like d4, instead he played some other move, the knight would have just come here and closed the position, and Fischer could not win the game. And instead so he played d4, attacking the knight, and not only that, as well as making this bishop way to attack on this long diagonal. And after that knight takes d4 was played, and bishop to b7 check was played. The king moved to f1. If the king moved to g1, then bishop takes g4 check, queen takes d4, and rook e1 check could have been played, and it would have been a deflection, or the white rook would have been deflected from the queen. After that king f2. If white didn't want to take the rook, and after that queen takes d4, and rook takes d4, then rook takes a1, and it is a nice material advantage for Fischer. So king f1 was played in this position, and after that queen to d7 was played here. This was the 21st move of this game, and Fischer made his first move of the queen, and after that queen to f2 was played here. Then queen to f2 could have been played, but the actual surprising shocking move is that queen to d7, which was played which was played by Fischer, which I showed, which was the 21st move. Both the players shook hands and went out of the table. So everyone understood that Fischer had resigned the game. But after that only everyone knew that Fischer didn't resign the game. Byrne resigned the game and went. Byrne resigned the game because of it was nothing more to do here. Even he has nice material advantage. Fischer's queen was coming here, and the diagonal was blocking here, and the rook was cutting this file, and the king would have been just hunted down by black's pieces, and this bishop would also join the party. So a very nice move could have been Fischer expected queen to f2, but Byrne did not play and he resigned. Queen to f2 was a very reasonable move or a decent move, or it is the best move of the position. But after that a series of checks and forcing moves would come. Queen to h3, then king g1 is forced, then rook takes e1. This is the best move, and this very nice move, because this move was missed by everyone, and most of them didn't think that. And after this, rook takes e1 would have been played, and bishop takes d4, and the queen is just lost. The queen is this is a skewer, and this tactic is called a skewer. And after that, say knight to e2, attacking the bishop, just the queen is lost. So king f2, then queen takes g2, king e3, then queen f3, king d2, rook d8 check, and king c1, queen d3, and the position is almost lost for white. And in this position, the most threatening thing is that white queen cannot move from this position, because if takes, this checkmate is waiting for white. So the queen cannot move in this position. So after that, rook takes e1, bishop takes d4. Now the queen again can't take this because of the checkmate coming here. So after bishop takes d4, then bishop takes f2 like thing, and just white is hunted completely down by Bobby Fischer. So this is a very nice game played between two great players, and I'll be making more videos on great games, and I'll be making on after a week I'll be making videos on openings, and the next opening series is Ruy Lopez series, and I'll meet you on that series, and bye bye.